Okay, hello. I had promised a get ready with me on getting ready for Giselle. I am gonna do that as best I can. We'll see how this goes with having a microphone and things um, in front of my face as I do this. The process takes me a little, I don't know, about 2 hours. Um, so right now I've done skincare and put in my contacts and done primer. So that's all I have on. My hair is wet because I showered and then I put it into French braids, which later on I will put up under a wig cap for my character Giselle in Vampire the Nightlife. So let's see what the best configuration is here with the mirror. I've never done a get ready with me on camera before and also at this setup. So we'll see how this goes. Let's see, I'm gonna need a little more light. This is less light than I usually work with for this too. But we're gonna give it a shot. Okay. So the first thing I do is a foundation. The foundation I've been using for Giselle is a little bit lighter than my normal skin tone. And this is also a hangout, so we can chat and stuff. I'm just going to talk as I do application stuff. It's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone. It's a blend of a few different foundations. I think I might have enough here, but we'll see. I may have to make a little bit more. Primarily NARS. I'm normally somewhere between Mont Blanc and Siberia, so this is a blend of those colors. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough for this, I don't think. And I'm at the very dregs of what I have in terms of those foundations. No, probably not enough. So I'm just mixing this up on my hand. Trying to get kind of close to what I need. Let's see here. And then if I have leftover foundation, I just save that for the following week. I go through different foundations for different things. Actually, I'm gonna probably make this a smidge lighter. This looks a little bit darker than I usually use. For that, I've been using a Makeup Forever light. This was a sample I got of the matte velvet skin, but it's really fair. It's one of the fairest foundations I've seen, and I'm pretty light to begin with. I usually am struggling to find foundations light enough for my skin, so to go even lighter, sometimes I just use basically a white tone if I'm doing a very fair character. But for Giselle, because she's, it's the masquerade, she's not wanting to show that off. So this is the color I use. It's not even gonna really show, but it's just a little bit lighter, and I'm gonna use a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, standard fare application to apply it. I have a couple little spots because my skin is so fair that everything sticks around for a long time and takes a long time to heal. So I end up having a lot of hyperpigmentation on my skin whenever I have a breakout or an injury. And also with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, my skin is very fragile, so it tears very easily. So that happens a lot. So I've learned how to conceal those things pretty well. It feels really dark in here today. I don't know why. Maybe it's off. Let's see. Hey, do you see what's going on? Yeah, so it's just a fairer, slightly fairer color than my actual skin. And for this character, I really kind of wanted almost an unnaturally flawless, sheer kind of finish on this. Hey, Deacon, what's going on? So everything I use, I may have to run back to the room. I may realize that I left things that I need because I usually have it all kind of localized to my usual kind of makeup battle station in there. And I also, with this character, I do, even though they don't usually show, I usually cover my ears and then I blend down my neck and onto the top part of my, like my collarbone area, just so that it doesn't bounce quite so much off of my face comparatively. My skin is very dry normally, so I use a whole, it's taken me a long time to find things. Your mic is low on your end? Okay, I can move the mic a little bit closer and turn that up. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see if we can't get that a little bit louder. There we go. That should be a little bit better. I also don't want the clanking of the stuff. Hey, Jason, what's going on? The clanking of the various makeup things to be a problem. Also, the new costume I'm wearing tonight is the same one I wore last week, but it has a higher collar. Oh, I'm sorry, Deacon. It has a higher collar than the others. It's kind of a mock turtleneck, so I don't actually have to cover quite as much as I did with the other outfit. And I usually use I leave a little foundation on standby to blend with concealer if I need it. I'm so sad they've stopped making this. This is my lifesaver. Yeah, I know there's so much clanking because I just have, I literally have everything in a basket here, and then I have a bunch of my costume pieces and the wig in here. I have the nails here. What else do I have nearby? The dress and stuff are back in my room because I'm not gonna do that obviously on camera. So yeah, there's a bunch of gear. And I'm trying to move things that I'm done with out of the way after I finish with. I have a feeling at some point this other box is gonna fall down. We'll see. Where is the thing I need? There we go. So this is a peach toned concealer. I do normally wear contacts. So my lenses that I'm wearing for this came from, oh gosh, I'd have to look it up. Give me 1 second, I can look it up. It's a special effects contacts company, but I normally wear clear contacts and I have terrible vision, so I need a very high prescription. So it's tricky to get. It was from a company called Unico Eye. So they are prescription, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see the screen. So I bought a bunch of pairs of prescription contacts. Because my skin is so fair and just what it is, I do get very, very dark circles. Before I do this character, I also have done an under eye little patch mask thing along with the rest of my skincare, and I do a caffeine depuffing treatment. Hey Olive, yeah, I'm gonna do my getting ready with me for Giselle, so it's gonna be a whole process because it takes 2-ish hours to apply. So I just start here, and then I'll go back over with foundation a little bit, and then go through. I end up doing a lot of under eye stuff because that does shadow, and that also on camera tends to you tend to get some heavier shadows there. It makes your eyes look more closed on camera, which can be a problem. I have partially hooded eyes. So yeah, this helps kind of cancel out some of the purple in the under eye circles. But this product has been discontinued, so I'm gonna have to find a new solution. I know there are more expensive ones that are available still, but from other brands, but I loved this because it was, I think, you know, $7 or $8 a pot. Okay. tough because I do not have as much light as I usually work with, and because my vision is dodgy to begin with, and then these contacts I can't get my exact prescription because I have astigmatism in special effects lenses at the number I need. Along with astigmatism, it's really it's impossible to get. So the strategy is to get stronger lenses, but I can't see quite as well as I'd like. So without the light that I usually use, let's see, can I do this here? Maybe it's a little better. I can move this back. Oops. I get a little bit more light if I lean this way. Oh yeah, these circles are doing their work. We're gonna deal with them, but they certainly are doing their work today. Next up, let's just go ahead and do under eyes. Are kind of a later thing because it is a smoky eye, so stuff gets everywhere. So I tend to do under eyes a little bit in a different place in this process. But because it is fair, I have a foundation or a concealer that is too light for me. It's not, usually I use either the Tarte Shape Tape or I have a MAC Pro Longwear that I really like. But for this character, because it's so much lighter than my natural skin. Did I get makeup in my hair? No, that's just my part because that's my skin showing through. That's all. Oh, that is actually, yeah, that is makeup in my hair. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be covered by a wig by the end of this. But this is the NARS Stick Concealer. I got this on sale at something, but this is an extremely, extremely light color. But I can use that with this foundation, blend it as light as it is. We're just going to cover up the little friends that showed up. Any kind of redness, because so much of this character is like, I think of her as having very kind of flawless, porcelainized skin. It was just playing with things. It was finding the right wig and finding the right lenses, and then kind of thinking about what a La Sombra would wear and how I was planning on playing her, and then just kind of building from there. The other thing about my skin is because of EDS, it doesn't always hold makeup very well. So sometimes I have to get away from cream and liquid product, and I'll actually end up using a powder, and I'll probably do that on a couple of these. I use a MAC Studio Fix foundation powder that I apply very densely to conceal spots. And I will get this under my eyes, but I'm going to start with a different one under my eyes. This is just I think it's Maybelline, the Age Rewind brightener, and then I have the concealer as well. The look probably will not change that much over time for this character because we're only doing 10 sessions over a few nights. But, you know, characters sometimes develop. I came out of theater, so I did a lot of special effects makeup in theater, so I'm used to doing, you know, characters who change or quick change makeups. That's something I'm very familiar with on those fronts. So I like having a character's look really reflect their personality quite a bit. My desk is going to be such a mess by the end of this. Oh my goodness. Let's get in here with a little bit of this. So, and this is just, part of this is just the shape of my eyes and the way my under eyes are structured. I've always had big old bags under my eyes, and it's just my face. And so a lot of this is just trying to kind of cancel that out a little bit. I have one final one I'll use on the very top, at the very end of the makeup, but we're not there yet. And then I'm going to take the really light one, and this is a tip for anything you want to, light concealer you can use to hide things, and then, you know, contour you use to deepen things. So light things will bring things forward, and dark things will bring things back. So basically I'm taking this and really only putting it in the darkest spots. I'm not using it to cover the color of the circles. I'm using it to cover the shape of the bags under my eyes, which also are bad because I haven't been sleeping super well. But that really seems to help kind of structure this look a little better. Okay, so that's basically the concealer that we're gonna get for now. I'm not gonna do the heavy under eye setting, but I will do, maybe I will. Where is, one second, I think I have to see if I have a thing in a different place. Okay, well, I can't find the thing I needed, but maybe it's buried in here and I'm just not seeing it. So we'll find out. That last concealer I put on the very top, and I don't know where it went. Okay, that's fine. We'll do without, and we're not going to use this. We're not going to use these. I don't think. Okay. Do I want an eyeline light or a light that's shining down from above for this look? It depends. I kind of just keep my ring light where it is. It's fine. I have a very small ring light that's attached to a little rig for my camera, and that works fine for me. Yeah, I have done makeup leaning into a hard into like a dark under eye. It's that's kind of, it just, I mean, it all depends on what kind of character you're playing. No, Giselle doesn't wear a nose ring. Giselle has a ton of accessories that I wear, but there's no nose ring. I really wish I knew what happened to that concealer because I don't want to set this without it, but I'm not finding it, so we may just have to make do with this for now and go a little heavier on it, but I usually use IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the lightest shade they make, which I think is 110. It's either 110 or 10. Hi, Juniper. I'm so sorry that you're having a tough time. I am sending you a hug as well. Yeah, and I said on Twitter I was going to talk a little bit about what it's like and why makeup during a flare is important to me. So I am, oh, nice, Deacon. It would be great to have you there. I am in a flare right now. I really have not been feeling well, and for me, putting on makeup makes me feel more like myself, um, which has an interesting effect because a lot of the time it means people think that I am not dealing with what I'm dealing with at the time. But I'm just setting this with a powder. This is the Airspun, the Coty Airspun powder. That's really good for theatrical makeup. I put this under my eyes to set them, and then kind of on some of the spots that get shinier for me, and sort of do like a soft bake on it. I don't do a full bake on my face with this, but it, you know, at least helps absorb some of what can become an issue otherwise. Um, yeah, but the not feeling well thing has been pretty rough recently. So I don't know. But putting on makeup is part of how I. It's something I can do seated. It's something I don't have to, stand up for. It's not a huge energy drain. Um, it's usually a very soothing process for me. It's relaxing. It lets me focus, um, and helps me not just it makes me feel better as I do it. So um, I tend to wear makeup pretty much every day because it makes me feel better. Um, that is not the case for everyone, and not everyone should have to wear makeup. Like, no one should have to wear makeup if they don't want to. It's just purely a personal thing, and it's something that makes me feel good when I'm feeling lousy. Um, so this is the MAC Studio Fix powder. I wear one NC10, um, and this is something that works well for me for concealing spots that aren't concealing well with other concealers, um, kind of as a perfector. Um, for some reason, this sticks to my skin when other things don't. So I kind of go in with this first, and then I'll go in with it kind of as an all-over, just a finishing for the foundation to set the foundation. Was it something I shared with a family? No, not really. I mean, my mom does makeup, but most of the makeup I did, I learned doing theater, or that's at least what got me really interested in special effects makeup. Um, so this is just gonna set it. It's heavy, so I really want to make sure I do good skincare afterward. After the show, it's really funny. We all on the group thread are all posting pictures of us in our various masks and things. Um, the worst tasting makeup. I hate the taste of sunscreen, and with my skin, obviously, I have to wear a lot of sunscreen. But any lip products that have sunscreen, I hate. I cannot stand. Um, and then the kind of the most unpleasant makeup I've had to do, I had to do blood drops out of my eye for a film, and my eyes did not like that. It hurt so much. It was really, really, really painful. Okay, so next up, I am going to. Do I want to prime my eyes for this or not? Yeah, I will. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. This is just a sample of the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye makeup primer. You just need a tiny, tiny bit. The tastiest thing. I mean, you shouldn't be. There's plenty of makeup that you can eat. You want your makeup to be safe for you to eat, but you should not be eating your makeup in general if you can help it. So this is just, I'm going to put this everywhere that I'm going to be putting eyeshadow. So all over my lid, and then just underneath as well, because this look has a whole bunch of eyeliner happening. And this just evens out the tone. It makes the shadows hold better. Uh, all of that. The pigments come out more cleanly. And there are a couple different ways I've done the eyes for this character, but I've now moved to what I think is the fastest, which is I use a black primer. which is what I'm going to do next. But this just helps everything set and stay put during the time. Oh my gosh, Mioma, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is not too bad, and which is surprising because my thumb's been out most of the day today, but you know, it is what it is. You just never know. And so much of this is routine for me that that part, it just feels it's the process of getting ready. I just have to keep an eye on the time. Okay, 5:30. So that I know that I'm on track to be ready for our crawl time. So I will get off of here probably somewhere around 6:30, 6:45, because I'll show you all of the accessories that I use for Giselle, but it does take some time to put them all on, and some of them have to be put on in a certain order. Eyebrows are late in the game, and the eyebrows also look really weird because they're blue for this character. So I just look very strange at that point. Halflings are great. I'm also doing coffee because I'm tired. I did 9 hours of shows yesterday, which was a whole lot. Okay, so next up, this is the Maybelline Color Tattoo. I love these. These are really wonderful. You can wear them as shadow, you can wear them as primer. Pretty much anything. Actually, let me get the brush that goes with this. And I'm going to just, this one is there's a bunch of colors that are really easy daily colors, but this is just a plain black and a nice matte black. That's what I'm going to start with, and I'm using just a flat shader brush with it. So it's just a little pot and a shader brush, and I'm going to just go in there and start applying. So Giselle, I don't know how much of this we're going to get into during the show, so I don't want to, I think I'm okay to talk about it, but she was turned her life ended and her life as a kindred began in the 40s. So a lot of her makeup and look is actually very subtly inspired by the 1930s. There are just little tiny details that I decided to put in for a few things. One of those is that the shape of the eye that I do for her, I kind of go closer to a 1930s shape than I do. So a modern shape is more angled on the outside. In the 20s and 30s, kind of the flapper shape was a much higher arch of the into the brow bone. And so I kind of am gonna work that shape with her a little bit more. Yeah, she's not quite a flapper. That was not her life, but I think the idea that she would absolutely try and adopt. Okay, this is hard to do with this mirror and not my regular one. I gotta lean in here. She would adopt some of the fashion once she had turned. And this is part of why I always will end up doing under eye touch-ups at the end of the makeup look, because between the liner and the shadows and the fallout that comes from this stuff, there's always smudging under the eyes, which for Giselle is okay to have a little bit, but I still prefer to have it cleaned up a little. So I'm just doing a first layer right now just to get the shape in, and then I'll go from there. The origin of her name. So I've talked a little bit about Giselle and what the name Giselle is referencing, the ballet. I do have a mirror. I have a one of these guys right here. So Giselle is a ballet that was one of the first kind of true sensations. Um, it was one of the earliest ballets danced on point. It was using point shoes. It was danced by some of the great stars of that era of ballet. The music was sensational. It was an absolute event, and the story of Giselle is about a peasant girl in a town, and there is a man who is a noble. He's a very he's a not such a great guy, and he disguises himself. Um, he's a prince. He disguises himself as a peasant and hides himself in the town. And basically, Giselle falls in love with him. He makes her think that he's a peasant. Uh, he is not. Sorry, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a little bit of blending. I'll do a lot more blending later in the process. Sorry, I'm going to have to talk through my teeth sometimes. Uh, but it's the way it's going to go. He convinces her that he's a peasant. She falls in love with him. He eventually reveals the lie that he has told, and she dies of a broken heart at the end of the first act. In the second act, you meet the sylphs, the will-o-wisps, and they are the spirits of women who wronged women, basically, and they lure men into the forest and dance them to their death. And they lure Prince Albrecht. They come and they raise Giselle and bring her up as a will-o-wisp, and then together with Giselle, they lure Prince Albrecht into the forest and begin making him dance to his death. Now, that dance is there are a number of dances in Giselle that are some of the hardest ever choreographed in ballet, and his dance that he has to do is one of those. Giselle has one too that's extremely, extremely difficult. It's a tough show. But so they are lured into the forest. They try and make him dance to his death, and at the last minute, Giselle saves him, and her spirit ends up being put to rest. But it's still very tragic. So that's the plot of Giselle. When I was creating the character, I had a friend, and I had mentioned that I was working on creating a character, and they mentioned the name Giselle, and I thought they did not know the story of the ballet, but with my Giselle's backstory, it's actually perfect. It's exactly right for who she is, and tied so beautifully to the backstory I was already working on with her. And he had no idea what he had done, but he had given me that great gift of helping me come up with that name. And the next day, I actually got an email with another name that was, or a text saying, "Oh, I thought of another name, and what about this thing?" And it was completely not right. I was like, "Not too late, man. You gave me the perfect one, and I'm going with it." And then Della Scala, looking at the history of the La Sombra, they often have ties to certain regions in Spain and Italy. And I went and I did some research. Scala is stairs, it's ascension, and so a lot of who Giselle is thinking long term about climbing. The way the La Sombras work is you basically put people in situations where they have to struggle, and then if they can survive it and be triumphant, they are able to be in charge of things. And so she has long-term plans, and she is a climber, and so Della Scala felt right, so she is Giselle of the Stair. And that's what we went with. And yeah, that's her name. Names always matter to me, and I want names. I spend so much time with characters thinking about names, and trying to find just the right name for the character. I am that person who's digging into mythology and stories and literature, just trying to find exactly the right name. And this felt like exactly the right name. And fun fact, she had a different name for a long time that she used in life and chose to take on the name Giselle. So, because of the ballet. Okay, so that's a decent base primer coat. It's pretty even, I think. Let's see. A little bit more there that I would like to even out, but I will be able to touch things up as I go. little bit less there. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to blend it out a little bit, and I'm actually going to come in just a second with a neutral color to blend with. So this is a ColourPop palette in Ballad. This second color in, which is called Epic. I love this palette. I bought it because of the name, pretty much. It's novel, epic, drama, fate, and prose are the colors in this palette. I'm going to go around kind of where I want to blend out the color. And it'll just, this is the trick with a smoky eye look, is you always want to blend to a neutral as your transition color. And then kind of around the edges here too. Just to mash it all together. And then this is the Urban Decay Naked Basics. So this is the mostly matte shades. They have one in the corner here that is a directions, Jen. That's just a flat black, and then this is just a small shader brush that I've dedicated to this. Sometimes I apply this this color wet, like I wet the brush to get a more pigmented color, but with the black primer, it tends to do the trick. And I'm just trying to get a really solid, even black shadow that's concentrated closer to the lash line, and then but this one's really all over, and because she is La Sombra and so she can't see herself in a mirror, she either has someone who's doing her makeup for her or she's applying it with her fingers and checking after, and it might be a mess. So it's either someone helped her with it or it's gonna be a mess most likely. So either way. Oh, Lady Schiffer Lachey was a lot of fun. That makeup was a ton of fun, but again, that one had prosthetics, and so that one was a bunch of time to get ready. That was at Gen Con last year, or 2 years ago, and I think I spent, I don't know, that was about the same amount of time to get ready, maybe even a little more, because my hair was, the nice thing about Giselle is I don't have to worry about my hair. It just, as long as I have it in braids, I pin it up and it goes under the wig. Okay, almost there. And then just focusing the shadow, because I'm just going to blend out a little bit on the outside, not a ton over here. But yeah, I have a lot of fun characters I've done over the years. I love that this gives me an opportunity to create those characters from time to time, but that you don't have to every time for D&D, that you have the choice with this stuff. So like, you know, Megan every week puts on a costume for Heroes of the Plains. I couldn't do that. I can do it for this character, but like that was part of something I planned for with this character. With Alindra, I can't imagine trying to like turn myself blue every week. I do have a couple little makeup things I do for Alindra, but it's very subtle, and it's really for my own fun more than anything else. Oh, that's really cool, Olive. I love that idea. So most vampires can look in the mirror, but La Sombra's clan bane is that they don't photograph. They can't be photographed, and they like their image distorts on photos, videos, and in mirrors. So reflections are super dangerous. Yeah, it's only La Sombras. Everyone else can see themselves. It's just the La Sombras that have that issue because they're shadow masters, you know. So the outer corner shape is not exactly what I wanted today, but it's fine. You know, it's not a huge deal, and the lashes are gonna cover that, which the lashes I think are in the bag. Okay. So I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit here. I'm blending out a little bit more there. I'm gonna go in with I could have sworn I put a certain shadow in here that I'm not seeing. I may need to go run and grab that. I will be right back. Okay, I also found the concealer I was looking for. So this is, let me clean this off because I still have color on here from yesterday. This is just a MAC shadow in, this one? Yeah, this is in Mylar, so it's just basically a white. I'm gonna use it. It has a tiny, tiny bit of sheen, but not enough that it's not reflective, but I'm gonna use that to make my brow bone pop a little bit. Okay. Now, let's see, what do I want to do next? Let's finish eyes. Well, I'm not going to do lashes yet, but I will do my liners and things. So, along with this, because I wear contacts, I use waterproof makeup generally on my eyes. Where is my liner? I know I saw it. There it is. This one is, this is e.l.f. I know e.l.f. had a thing happen fairly recently, so I have eased off of that. Hey, Swaden. I've eased off of purchasing that recently, but I still have some that I'm using up. So this is just a very thin black liner, a pencil. I'm going to use this to line my inner waterline, upper waterline, and all around my eyes. And just, this is, you know, like messy, smudgy eyeliner. So. And this is where you can kind of get the difference between a goth look and more of just like a smoky eye is when you line all the way under the eye. That's more of a goth punk thing. For a smoky eye, often you'll just do shadow halfway into the eye, because this can make your eyes look kind of heavy. And you're just trying to get this all the way down to the lash line. Yeah, so this is lined, unlined. Big difference, and there's no mascara on this yet or lashes on this, but it's a big change. Yeah, and if you use a light colored liner, so if you use a white or like a very light beige in your inner waterline, it makes your eyes look very open and big. Black liner obviously is going to make it look more closed and heavier lidded. Um,
This is where I usually would like to have a little bit more light while I do this, just because it's tough to see, but I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay. So now black liner on. I'm gonna leave this out because I may need it again. Um, I do have some fallout under my eyes now. As soon as I get my mascara on, I will deal with that. So I'm gonna curl my lashes. This is the device that looks like a torture device, but it is not. I'm gonna curl my lashes, put on my mascara, and then I will apply my actual lashes in a few minutes. I want to get the rest of my makeup on first, though. So curling your lashes opens up your eyes and also gives, when you're wearing false lashes, it gives them a nice kind of shape to sit on. Um, Everyone sort of has their ways that they like to do stuff that are different, but I also have occasionally taken a black liquid liner to just kind of add some sharpness if I want to add a little bit of a wing, or if I want to, sharpen the point on the inside of my eye. I can do that with a liquid liner. But for this character, because of the 1930s thing, they did not do winged liner yet. That was a 1950s and 60s look. And of course, I have one little fleck of glitter from another makeup look that is sitting right in the center of my eye that I can't get to. The mascara I'm using is it's a French brand called Vivienne Sabo that I had heard about. You can get it on Amazon, but this is like a take it to a desert island eyeliner. Or mascara. This stuff does not come off if you get the waterproof. It's one of the toughest mascaras I've ever used. It's a very natural look though. It's not a really heavy thickening or lengthening mascara. It's just kind of darkens your lashes and separates them. So it just depends what kind of look you're looking for, but it's all I have right now because I stopped using everything else. I probably would use normally a more thickening mascara for this character, but this is fine. I'm wearing lashes for her anyway. Okay. I think I didn't bring tweezers. I may have to go back for those. And because I smudged it when I was applying stuff, I'm just going to go in with a quick touch up on the shadow there and there. There we go. Blend it out a little bit. Okay, so I still have on my eyes to go. I have lashes to put on, and I have the crystals because I wear a crystal on each of these that matches the nails. There's all these little tiny details that no one else sees, but I notice. How toxic are these? Lead in lipstick. I don't know about lead in lipstick. You can check toxicity of stuff, but also if it's for most of these brands, they've had to go through rigorous FDA testing before they are allowed to release anything that is potentially on your face or in your mouth. So next up, contour. So now I'm gonna do shape of the face. So actually, let me do the under eye again. So I found my concealer. Hey Reese, how's it going? So I'm gonna take this and just do a tiny bit to kind of fix the fallout from under my eye. This stuff looks really light, but it actually oxidizes a whole lot, so it's more than I want over there. And I know you shouldn't apply it from the tube, but I do. And that's how it goes. And essentially I'm just going to cover up the places that the liner or the shadow fell onto my under eye concealer. And I may go back one more time with the highlight. We'll see. I'm looking forward to tonight's episode too. This game is so much fun. Yeah, if I mean the risk is yeah, and most things it's very rare that you're going to get stuff that has anything toxic in it. That most makeup is not made with toxic materials anymore, even internationally. I can't do this again. This is also shaping my face, so this is making my cheekbones look a little bit more prominent, while hiding the circles under my eye because I'm bringing that area forward. Kind of the mask area of your face. And with a dark look, you have to be careful not to smudge anything further than it already is. Which is an issue I'm feeling right here. And then I'm going to go back over it with powder one more time to set it. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much only buy my makeup at, you know, either I love Korean beauty and Asian beauty. I think there's all sorts of really amazing products there. But I pretty much only buy my stuff through reputable sellers, just whatever I'm using. Because you want to be careful. But I've also used stage makeup for years, and that tends to be even more intense and heavier and thicker makeup. That's where you're using stuff that feels like grease on your face. It's intense. Okay, so this is where we are right now. You can see this is much lighter than the rest of my face. We're gonna fix some of that now, as we do this, because we're gonna bring some color back into my face. Not much because I'm a vampire, but so this is a contour palette by Sleek, drugstore. And I'm just gonna add contour under my cheekbones, at my temples, kind of around my forehead, under my chin, and on my nose. Just a little bit of shape, not a lot. I'm not really reshaping my face at all. I'm just kind of making the things that should be in more sunk in and the things that should be more prominent. So a little bit more cheekbone. You know, you can use contour to completely reshape your face too. But that's not what I'm doing here. I may need to restart my, hang on one second, let me, 1 second, because my camera is out of sync. Let's see if that fixed it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so I'm just pulling this cheekbone, temple, and I'm using this very, very lightly, and I'm using a cool tone so that it's not, I don't want to give myself a bronzer look because that is not what I'm going for with this character. She's not tan, she's not in the sun. Yeah, we could ask Jason to ask if he does makeup before game. I bet he would. Oh, thanks so much, Jason. I appreciate that. You can also reshape your face with pastries. Absolutely, that's a fun way to reshape your face. But makeup is too. You're kind of making a 3 shape as you're applying contouring. But every face is different, and so you kind of have to find the structure of your own face. You can usually feel where some people do the cheekbone thing like that. Mine are pretty prominent, so you can see it. But yeah. So now I have a little bit more shape. You can see it. It's not, what happens when you put on foundation is your face kind of flattens, but now you can see that I have a little bit more shape to my face, which helps. I look like I have some depth and shadow. Because this character is who she is, I use a very light blush on her. This is a Color Pop. It's called Tearing Up My Heart, but it's it's a slightly shimmery, kind of neutral color. And I'm just gonna put that here to give myself a little bit of color. Most of that is because it's on camera. In person, this look isn't quite as washed out. But focusing on the apples of my cheeks, blending, and then kind of blending up and out to kind of get a little bit of a flush, so I just don't look quite so dead, even though I am in this character. Sometimes I pump that up even more. For regular streams, you have to really give it a little bit more color than you normally would. How's that reading on camera? So I will probably adjust my camera down just a smidge before the show. When I switch to green screen, things change a little bit. But yeah, what reads on camera is really different. And also my camera tends to read things slightly more red. Yeah, I tend to change just the gain on my camera because I'm so pale that if it auto gains, I end up getting flare spots, and I don't want that. So blush goes slightly above contour for me, and then kind of blends into it. So that's that. And then for this character, I also decided I wanted something slightly inhuman for her, so I use a NYX duochrome blush or highlighter. This one has like a slightly purple pink shift. It's called Lavender Steel. Let's see if I can catch it so you can see the shift. Not really. It's again a super subtle thing that is mostly for me, not for anybody who can see it, but I do add that as a highlight on my highlight points. So if the light does catch it, you get, instead of getting a normal human glow, you get a slightly purpley glow, which is a little weird and a little undead looking. That's here, that's here. Cupid's bow. And then I go back one more time with the blush just to make sure it's all blended. And you're kind of, what's weird about makeup is you're really just finding your skeleton. It's like painting. And this is why mini painting for me is feels very similar. You really are just kind of finding the structure and then working on it and accentuating. So, oh, thanks, Olive. Thanks, Anne. Yeah, for me, because of the way my hair is, I can do a few different things with it to put it under a wig, and I do wear a wig cap, but I tend to I'll pin it up eventually like this, and that keeps it out of my way. Hey, TTOP Gifts, what's going on, everybody? We're just doing makeup for Giselle. How am I on time? 6:04. Okay, I've got about 45 minutes. Yeah, makeup tattoos are really cool. For me, it's not something I am interested in having done, but I think if it's something that works for you, then it's awesome. If you want to be able to, wake up and go, it's a great way to do that. Let's see, do I have a chapstick I can throw on really quickly here? I'm gonna just throw on a tiny bit of chapstick before I do my lipstick, because we're almost at that point. And I do wear a long wearing lipstick here, so it does dry my lips out, and I can't have anything under it, otherwise it won't stay put. So I just like to add a little bit extra chapstick beforehand. No, so I have to be on stream at 7. I have to be, or 7:15. I have to be in. It's our call time, and then prior to that, I like to have a couple of minutes just to kind of get my think about where I am and what I'm doing. Yeah, all of these people that you're mentioning do amazing, amazing makeup changes. Okay. Let's do Let's do lashes. So what I have in here is I have my wig and wig cap. These are from UVme Wigs, which is on the bag. They're really affordable. They are, I believe it's a Japanese company, but they ship really fast. The wigs are really affordable and they look really good. This is kind of an artificial looking wig, but that's fine for this character. Some characters you don't want that. Some characters you want a really realistic wig. They have a lot of those, but this particular wig that is a little bit shinier. Oh yeah, no, I like I said, I came out of theater, so ditty bags are a thing I just do. I was like, okay, so I have jewelry, except for the necklace, which is in here. I have lashes, I have the wig, I have the specific colors of makeup I need. I want to be able to grab and go when I'm doing characters, because especially with Giselle, because she has so many pieces. And the nails take a little while. That's kind of the last step. So we'll see if I have time to do that on camera. That may not be an on-camera thing, but we'll see. I do need to go get my eyelash tweezers, though. I'll be right back. I realized I was at a point where I could put on the dress that I'm wearing for the character, because all that I just need to change out is the top part, because this part is easy. And then there's just the sheer sleeves that I throw on in a minute. Okay, so the lashes, I was using a set of lashes that got worn out, so I got a new set. These are pretty heavy lashes compared to what I normally wear when I wear false lashes, but they are... they've worked well for me, so we're going with it. No, that doesn't go in there. Usually my favorite lashes to wear on stream, because they're just comfortable and don't take up much time to put on, are just little corner lashes that open up your eyes a bit and make it easy to, you know, see things. It makes your eyes open quite a bit and just makes everything easier. But this character needs the more intense lash look. Okay, let's see here if I can do this on these. Oh, this is... this is the Duo Instant Lash Glue. I need to get some more of this. This is hanging out. At some point I might get lash extensions put on, because I'm tired of putting on lashes. They are annoying to apply, but you know, part of the gig. Let's see here. This is tricky. It's because it's at a very different angle than I usually use to apply my lashes. Okay. Here we go. I personally do not like to have, I like my lashes very close to my natural lashes.
So I like them really kind of squashed on there. That makes it comfortable. It means they don't get in my way when I'm trying to read things. And I tend to not like them in any further than about there. But one set on. And I do need a little bit of a touch up on a couple of spots with the liner, just because lashes tend to do that. Okay, next set. Sorry. I do not have quite enough light for this either, which is making it really tricky. It's tough to do without good lighting. See as well when I'm applying. All right. Sorry, I know this one's boring. This is the boring part of the stream, but well, part of the process. That was not as good an application as I would have liked, but part of this is you sometimes have to deal with it. So let's just go ahead and liner. Sometimes you can use the liner to kind of move the lashes back into place. Okay. Does the makeup hurt at all? No. I do have a tattoo on my back. I have a Shakespeare tattoo on my back. My face muscles feel tired after a game if the makeup is heavy. No, the makeup doesn't. The only time that it actually physically gets tiring when you're wearing something is like if you have a prosthetic on. That can get tiring. And for me, sometimes my earphones sometimes hurt. But it's not that big a deal. Wigs are not ideal, but they're fine. They can be uncomfortable. Yes, contacts before nails. Contacts are the first thing in. Basically, it's skincare and then contacts. Yeah, makeup is 100% masking for me. Like this is how I feel like I'm a normal, having a typical day. Because today is not a day I feel well at all. Um, there are good apps that there are plenty of great filters that do all sorts of great stuff. Um, yeah, ableist and sanist terms are icky, and we're better off without them. Um, yeah, but even good makeup can cause issues. Like it just depends on your skin. Everyone's skin is different and reacts differently to makeup. Um, so you just kind of have to find what works for you and be comfortable with that and figure out what and there's no you don't have to wear makeup. It's entirely your call on what makes you feel comfortable. Okay, so these are the nails I would wear during the show. I'm not going to put the nails on, but in here, I don't want to turn it too much, but there are some little crystals. Those are what I'm going to put on now, because I do wear one on each side. For Giselle, I use the same eyelash glue to attach them. I am running low on them, so I need to be very careful not to lose them. That goes right. Come on. The crystals are super fiddly and don't always cooperate. Right there. Okay, so I don't know how much that shows up, but there is a little crystal right there to give a detail and just gives a little sparkle. When the light catches it, it just makes it look fancy. And it matches the nails, which is fun. Um, just do your best to get the other one in the same place. But that's gonna be fiddly tonight too. Come on, honestly. Good. Okay. It's pretty darn close. Okay. Anything need touching up? Let's go back to white. So I do need a little bit more liner there, just for funsies. Okay. Now let's do the lips. So I'm just gonna get rid of any extra. Oh, and I need to take meds because it's that time. So let's do that really quickly. Okay. So this is a NYX, I think it's called Night Moth Nebula lip liner. It's a dark color. Oh, thanks, Wedian. Oh, I appreciate that. Do I like getting my nails done in a more permanent way? Yeah, I mean, before quarantine, I always would have gel polish. I like getting manicures because I do have a habit of picking at my fingers otherwise, and that helps. But I haven't done that since quarantine, and these are too long for me to function with, so I cannot do that with these nails. Um, but I do need to move pretty quickly at this point. So I use little temporary nail stickies, gel stickies with these, which are they're so beautiful, and I wish I could wear them all the time because they're just gorgeous, and I love the feel of them. They're also difficult. I'm gonna have to put on the top part of this costume before I put those on too, because uh, I need to not have sharp nails as I'm putting on the little mesh stuff. Um, so for the lips, I can't talk while I do this. Sorry. The pencil lets me get the shape I want and make sure that I have what I want before I use the stuff that's much harder to remove um, with the liquid lipstick. Pretty happy with that. Again, I really could use a little more light for this. I should have set up my other ring light, but that's fine. Some people have very naturally defined borders on their lips, and I don't, so liner can be a little tricky um, at times. You want to make sure you're actually hitting your natural lip shape or whatever shape you're trying to get to. Okay, I think I am pretty happy with that. Yeah, everything I put on opened up my eyes, and that's all intentional. The lipstick I'm using is from Melt Cosmetics. It's from the Beetlejuice collection. It is, I love it so much. What's it called? It's called Weirder and Weirder. It looks like the night sky. Um, and it's a long wearing lipstick, so once it's dry, it really stays put really well. think we're almost there. It looks like I need a little bit more on the. Okay. So I am pretty happy with that. Trying to make sure it doesn't get on my teeth. And now I'll let it dry. It takes a couple of minutes to dry down, but I'm happy with that shape. With darker lipstick, it will make your lips look smaller. So sometimes with darker lipstick, you want to overline a little bit and go for a slightly bigger liner look. But I'm uncomfortable with having super overlined lips unless it's for like a very specific type of character. This actually may need a little bit more though, now that I'm looking at it. I can also fix that with the liner itself instead of the lipstick, but I think this is pretty good. Cool. Now it's gonna get weird. Now the look's gonna start looking strange. Let me just fix the camera a little bit so we are in a slightly less bright situation. Turn down the gain just a smidge because I feel like the brightness is super high right now. Much. There we go. That's pretty accurate to what we're dealing with. Yeah. We'll go there. I might turn it up again for the show, but no, you know, on the Twitch it looks weird. Let's see how this looks over here. So what I'm trying to avoid, I'll show you, is if we go too light, do you see how I have these hot spots that show up because my skin is so fair? So I want to get to a point where it still is bright enough that you're seeing the actual shape of my face, but you're not, but it's not, I'm not getting those hot spots. So I think right about there is where I should probably be. Okay, so now it's gonna get weird. This is gonna be the brows. So I'm using this teal pencil. The brows are strange. There's no other way to explain it. I look very weird once I put them on. But they're kind of, other than final powder and setting spray, they're the last piece of the puzzle. So I basically am going to trace out shape I want, which is basically just following my natural brow because I don't feel like doing, you know, inventing a new eyebrow for this character or having to cover up my natural brows. So that's a Giselle brow. Giselle brow, Jen brow. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Just tracing the shape of the, I'm doing the under part of the brow first. just because I feel like that's where it goes wrong the most frequently for me. But you know, always you do you. And then just kind of filling in. I'm using these feathery strokes to kind of mimic brow hairs. I don't think there's any, there's supposed to be any suggestion that Giselle's hair actually grows in blue, but it felt like my natural brows felt very Scott Pilgrim to me, the look, and so I really kind of wanted to take it a little weirder and a little more out there. Okay, so they're not even, which means I need to go back over here. And brows are sisters, not twins, which is fine, but just trying to make them close-ish in shape. I also have a template I've used before for other brows I've done, but these are not that complicated, so I just kind of use it. Just do that myself. So they're pretty close. Not perfect, but not. It's not important that they be perfect. And then I think I'm gonna go in one more time with the highlight under my brow. If I can find that brush. And that shadow. What did I do with it? There it is. Just to make sure that I can, because of the shape of my eyes, I can sometimes lose this part and it all becomes kind of one big part of my eye. And I don't want that. So I want the definition and the lift underneath it. And then the last step for the brows is I use a clear brow gel on it. Just to make sure they stay put. Where I would like them. This one needs actually a little more color. I'm just seeing spots in it that are not filled in the way I'd like. I'll go back with that. So I'm realizing I actually, if I have a 7-15 call, I can probably go to closer to 7, but we're getting pretty close to being done. I'll go grab the other thing to put on if I need to, and we'll keep going. Okay. And then the very final 2 steps are I use a matte setting powder. This one is an e.l.f. one, but again, as I mentioned, you can use other brands, which I will probably switch to at some point. This is just because I tend to get shiny here, here, and here, and I'm actually may come back and hit it with a little bit more blush because I do feel very washed out on camera right now. I'm not sure how that's reading to everybody else, but to me, I'm seeing very, very fair, like too much. So I want to kind of bring that back forward. So I think I am going to throw a little bit more color in there. I might come back with this slightly brighter blush, and blend it with this, the one I was using. I may hit my cheekbones again one more time with the contour, just as a kind of last looks type thing before I set this. Okay. One more time. Brows. Cool. And then now I'm going to just go ahead and set this in place with a setting spray. It still looks really washed out though. It's not in person. Maybe this is camera tech stuff that needs to be tweaked. Let's see. I think that's about right. And then just setting it with the setting spray and putting everything away. Sorry for the clanking that is commencing, but then we'll move on to the accessories and stuff for Giselle. And I might go grab the top that goes with this. But this is the face. And I always feel like a clown once the eyebrows are on because they're so ridiculous looking. But at least on me, there are plenty of people that can pull it off on a day-to-day basis. I am not one of them. Okay. This and this can go here. Put away. Okay. Put my bobby pins in here, and only 2 survived, so there's a few more here. Great. So now I'm gonna just pin up my hair. I did not bring hairspray over here, but I don't think I need it. Yeah, suddenly the camera stops working entirely and I disappear. Oh, thanks, Ortonius. So I'm just taking my hair and I'm pinning it up kind of in like a halo braid, and trying to get it to have as flat a profile as possible, because that's where this is where the wig's gonna go. And I tend to pin kind of right under the elastic, so if it falls, that catches it. And then this one. Same deal. This one pinned. But I do have a wig cap that kind of holds everything in place too, so I don't have to stress too much about it. I sometimes also do twists for this, and then it feels it feels pretty secure. So I'm just going to do a couple on the sides. Okay, so my hair is now up and back and out of my way. I just want to make sure it's really comfortable, because otherwise I have to wear it all night and then it sucks and you get a headache. Yeah, you can have it just down and back, but you never know if you're going to want to move around or what. So I tend to like to just, this is what I found I like to do for this character. I'm going to go grab the top piece. I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, top piece on. Knocking over things. So Giselle's jewelry. So this is a little uncomfortable just trying to get this into the right position because it doesn't move very well. And it's a little stretchy, but not as stretchy as I'd like. In terms of being able to adjust it, but it is what it is. So the first thing I have as in terms of her accessories are is this necklace. She has a La Sombra. This is very similar to the La Sombra symbol. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. Yeah, maybe not. But it's a crown, and it has a little stone in it that kind of moves independently of the necklace, which is weird and kind of cool, and feels very Giselle. Next up, I have a bracelet. I have a few rings, which it's always exciting to see with the rings because one of them, it's a gamble whether it goes on or not. And tonight, we'll see. Or I can get it on and can't get it off. Oof. This hurts. There it is. Okay. And then I have one she wears on her middle finger, and then this one which she wears. She has two snake rings that she wears. I have a pair of snake earrings that I wear as well. That is my 645. So again, these are a lot of these things no one sees, but I know they're there, which changes the way I move. And yeah, it does look like shark devil horns. I notice that every week, but it changes the way I move and the way I feel. I don't know how else to explain it. And then she has a necklace, which is the same one I've been wearing all of the episodes. It's a black, just a black sparkly thing. So there's that, and because I like to be able to, she plays with the jewelry as part of it. And then the last accessory I have is a headband, but that goes on after the wig, which we may be at wig time. And I don't want to do the nails because I may have to. We may take a quick break because I need to go get the stuff that I need, like my drinks for the game, like my water for the game and stuff, and get my cup for that and the martini shaker and stuff that I use for that ready. But let's go ahead and get this wig on. Did I wear this last week? Hang on, I have to look at my photo from last week. Let's see if I did that. I can't remember if last week I used I haven't taken a photo in this costume yet. I needed to do that tonight. The Nightlife. I did, okay. That's what's great about YouTube. You can always check what you wore for the thing the previous week. Okay, so this is like a tube wig cap. Yes, and again, this a good observation, Alice. All of the jewelry most of the jewelry has a nod to the 1930s. However, or the snakes have a particular backstory meaning for Giselle as well. My hair feels pretty secure. Maybe one more pin up here. That part does feel a little
a little wobbly. Nope. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere once it's in the wig cap. But the nice thing about this kind of cap is you can put it on like that. You don't have to, you know, do other stuff with it. So just making sure everything is in the wig cap before you put on the wig. And then this one has the tube, so if you do want to wear your hair down, you can use a cap like this and just kind of pile your hair into it. But yeah, I don't know. And then my wig here. Little attachment things inside of it to make sure that it's the right size. So I'm just going to fix those. And then give it a quick brush. It's been away for a week. I don't have a wig stand. I probably should get one at some point, but I don't currently have one. And then let's see how this goes without being in a good mirror for it. Is this so it's finding the front of the wig, finding the bangs. Everything. Nope, this came loose. Hang on. Darn it. This is the thing that you risk putting these on, is they do the little lock things that fix the size can fall out pretty easily. And actually, if I am wearing this, I should put it around my neck anyway. Okay, let's try this again. Hope that it stays where it's supposed to be. This hair should be on the outside of the wig, not the inside. Nope, came loose again. Darn it. Come on, stay put. Okay. There we go. Weird bobby pin. So, hair is on. Just a wall of wigs. Yeah, some people have those. I do not. I only have 2 wigs, and I don't wear them very often, so having a wall of wigs is not really necessary to my life, but a couple of wig stands wouldn't be a terrible thing to have. And then for this, I just kind of part the hair and put on the headband, which is currently all sorts of twisted. This was not centered. The thing about wigs is you just kind of have to find the right place for them. They are made to fit a certain way, and you just kind of have to find that place for where it fits on you. This doesn't feel quite right yet. Getting there, but it's not quite there yet. This is tough to do in this mirror as well.
There we go. I probably will need to go fix this in my actual mirror because this is a little tricky to tweak. And it's weird, this reads so much more blue on camera. It's actually much more of a teal color and a little bit grayed down. Hey, Gar, what's going on? And then the hair is all not, well, that's part of it, is the hair isn't fully tucked in. Okay, that's pretty much that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to a break for just a minute to go wash the martini glass and everything, and then we'll do nails and be Giselle, I guess. So this shouldn't take me too long. It's just a couple of minutes to go wash things out and get some water and everything. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock. We'll say, yeah, it's gonna be a quick ad break and 5 minutes, and a reminder, you can obviously watch this character's on show tonight right after this. I'll obviously we'll go raid the channel. But Mondays I'm on here hanging out. Tuesdays I am on Heroes of the Plains playing Alindra, very different character to this. Wednesdays I am doing this, the Nightlife. Thursdays, I don't know, stuff's changing, stuff's exciting, there's things happening. And then Patreon, you get access to the Discord. We can always do makeup tutorials and stuff there too if this is something people are interested in. I know this is not normal gamer stuff, but you know, if it seems like people are interested in this, this wig is not on properly, I think. Something feels off. I can't tell what it is. There we go. But yeah, Patreon gives you access to the Discord. We do interesting stuff, and we can definitely do more makeup tutorials, and I can take suggestions on that stuff and whatnot. But I'm gonna go away for about 5 minutes and get some stuff ready, and then I'll finish this up and put on the nails, and we will have a show. So I will see you all in a few minutes. Okay, so this needs to be quick because I got to be over in the meeting very shortly, which I also didn't accept. Hang on, I've got to do that. I'm now into the point of pre-stream that gets a little frantic, so I may have to, let's see how this goes. Okay, put on my headphones, so that's done. And then start the nails. I may have to finish the nails once I get onto the group call and leave the chat. So, okay. Headphones on. So for the nails, there's only a few things that I do. Here I do, the first thing I do is I pre-treat my nails with some alcohol. Oh, thank you so much, Rain. I'll be going, if you stick around, you can actually go with us over to see this character in action on the Nightlife, Vampire the Nightlife. It's a Vampire the Masquerade show on the Renegade Games channel. So you're more than welcome to join us. I will be rating the stream, but this is all cut up now. There we go. So I use these tabs to these nail tabs. So let's just do this very quickly. So it's just rubbing alcohol that I'm dehydrating my fingernails for the sake of getting this to adhere better. If I have the time, I do try and also like file them flat, like buff them out first, but tonight I don't have the time for that. Is that a full set? That's a full set. Okay. And I've done this a couple of ways. But I found that the most effective way for me to do this and the fastest way to apply this is actually put the sticker on the nail rather than try and put the nail on my finger first, if that makes sense. Just for the, once I get to the left hand, that it gets much harder to apply. So applying it to the nail first means I just have a preset fingernail. But for my right hand, it's this way is easier. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Which way is easier? That's fine. This. And so these are just clear gel tabs. They are pretty good. They're pretty solid. I haven't, tested them to see how long I can get them to last, because usually after the show I kind of need to be able to have my hands so I can make dinner and things like that. But for my purposes, they've been pretty good. I've never had a nail fall off, but they've always felt secure. Yeah, the part on the left hand that's tricky is peeling off the tabs once you have the nails on. So for that, for the right hand, I put them directly on my fingers. For the left hand, I adhere them to the nail itself, usually, if I can get it on there. Because that means I can just then peel off the excess plastic and it's ready to go. I may just put it on my fingers tonight. I feel like that might be faster.
And these nails, if you go to my Instagram, you can see the link to Taja, who made these. Hey, what's going on, Baron Samdi? This is going to be quick because I actually have to go in about 2 minutes-ish to go to the pre-show stuff. But I just adhere them like so. And they're just so beautiful. These for me really defined the character. Once I put them on, it changed everything about the way I move with her, the way I hold things, the way I touch stuff. Just kind of this sensation of having claws really changes everything for this character and the way I play her. Thank goodness the tabs are cooperating with me tonight. They don't always do that, but so far it's been okay. This one, oops. I am going to have tabs all over my living room forever. It's going to be like glitter. Thanks, Radian. And yeah, if you all want to, if you can and feel like it, if you want to help support all of the goodies that I have to end up buying to do these things, all of my links are in the places where you find my links. They're on the page and on Twitter and in the accessibility document and everything. This nail needs to be repaired because I managed to break the design on it, which was unfortunate. They have these really beautiful, intricate detailing that Taja did, and on this one I managed to ruin the one of the pieces. I have it, I just have to have her go fix it. And that's my favorite of the nails too. I love that nail. But, they're all different, which is so amazing. Well, almost all. The pinky and the ring finger are the same. But she really went to go for a very elegant but also vicious look. They're so beautiful with the flames, like they, and nobody sees this but me again in the show. But for me, it changes everything about how I play this character. Okay, and the thumb is going on. I can get it out of the box. Come on, you. You have work to do now. There we go. And that completes my transformation into Giselle. Thanks for coming and hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed it and it was informative and you learned something about what I do for the show and how I get ready for it. I appreciate you all. We're gonna go raid over there. I totally realized I forgot to hit the ad during the thing, but we're gonna go. I'm gonna run that, and we're gonna head over to the raid to raid the Renegade channel. Because I have to go do work now. Thank you all for being here. You rock, and I'll talk to you soon. We're gonna run the ad break. We're gonna go to an ending soon. We're gonna do an ad break, and we're gonna raid Renegade. And stick around. The show starts at 7:30 for Vampire, the Nightlife. See you there.
Well, I lied. It's not letting us switch over to Play Renegade. So please stick around. Head over to Play Renegade. I will host it on this channel as well, but head over there to come hang out with us. So I will see everyone there. Bye.